Hey traders, the Chart Guys Swing Report newsletter is currently live. In the description of this video, there are two links. The first is to the sign up page where you can also get emailed an example of a previous copy. And the second is to an in-depth video to let you know exactly what the Swing Report entails. Appreciate your attention. Let's get on to the charts. The broader market, not a whole lot went on today during regular trading hours, and that's nice because I wasn't at the computer most of today. Taking a bit of time off and mowing the lawn and stuff. But after hours here, we've got Netflix reacting to earnings. So we're going to be focused on that a little bit to see what's going on after hours, what the tech sector is doing, because SPY is down about $1 from where we closed. Nothing huge. We're holding it a low of the day. We'll see where we stand tomorrow, but overall, no big deal for the bulls today. What I would need to see to say this is a big deal for the bulls would be a break of 312. That's my new little line in the sand level. 2 days ago, it was 310.68. Now it's 312. Anything above that level is just a daily high or low, and we would have to see that level break to lose the uptrend. Also going to be watching our triple top, which is still intact. And let's look at the S&P 500 futures chart for a bit of a different picture. So we did reject and we are pulling back, but it is still a daily uptrend. So we would likely need to see another couple tech sector earnings with bearish reactions if we're going to see a loss of these daily higher lows. Let's just look at Netflix real quick. So Netflix after hours, big drop. Here's our bounce. We're looking for a 15-minute lower high. And we'll stick to the 5. We're looking for a 5-minute lower high to be the result of this bounce. Decent bounce off of the low of 449. So I would expect that we're going to trade within the range of this first candlestick now for a bit longer. And we'll see where we stand tomorrow pre-market. So IWM today, again, not much going on. We had the low of yesterday. It did hold, so a little daily inside bar. If it breaks bearish, there's a gap to fill to 141.98. But so far, just a tightening range. Again, pretty uneventful day for IWM. QQQ tightening up within our big 2-day range as anticipated. High, low, lower high. Bulls trying to hold the low of Monday. Here after hours, we're still well above the low of yesterday, or the low of today, I should say. 255.62 is the low. Yes, we dropped it as a bearish reaction to Netflix, but it's not a significant one. In fact, we have not even lost hourly support. The bulls are attempting an hourly high or low. So what we would need to see, again, I don't care what tech is doing, or QQQ, until we break either the high of Monday or the low of Tuesday. And we are tightening up. The 4-hour time frame generally would give us a nice clear picture here. This is not ideal, but I'm just looking at it pretty much like this. And the bulls trying to set this higher low. And of course, a bit of a setback on that higher low attempt because of this earnings reaction. If bears are going to prove something to us either tomorrow or Monday, have to break 252.76 to break the daily higher low. XLY holding on just fine, daily inside bar. XLV Healthcare broke the low of yesterday with no bear follow through and closed fairly strong. So no red flags on XLV. We're just looking for a daily higher low on the next consolidation that we do see. XLF topped out this morning and didn't make its way back to the high of the day. But again, still in control for these bulls. The hourly time frame, yes, it was more pullback than the bulls would have liked to have seen, but still a higher low compared to the low of the day. And bulls trying to follow through with that. At the end of the day, we would have to see a bear break of 23.85 for the bulls to lose their short-term momentum. Then there's a gap to fill at 23.75. Keeping in mind, bigger picture, we are looking for a weekly lower high compared to 26.83 to be the most likely scenario. But we have to see weakness on the daily time frame to gain confidence that that weekly lower high has been set. Biotech sector, healthy daily consolidation. No red flags here. And there is a bit of a double top, 118.36, 117.97. But again, we'd have to break that Monday low or Tuesday low of 109.79 for the bears to prove anything. And I'm viewing it just as a daily uptrend. Higher lows set, higher high, higher low. Failing to break resistance, have to break support for it to mean anything bigger picture. SMH tightening up like the tech sector within the range of Monday and Tuesday. And patiently waiting for a break of that range. And the VIX, almost a daily inside bar. did break that low of yesterday. Uneventful. Gold is notable. We have the double top, and the bears are coming out today. Same thing though, have to lose the daily high or low. If we break 1790 on gold, it will be a daily lower high and lower low. That will be the first time that we have seen that happen since this consolidation back here in end of May, start of June. And that led to weekly consolidation. This was our last weekly high or low. So if that 1790 support level breaks, that's going to indicate that we can be watching for the potential of weekly consolidation. Still a lot of space. Anything above 1670 keeps the weekly uptrend intact. But bulls losing a bit of the short-term momentum if 1790 breaks. Silver pulling back as well. It's not at risk of losing its daily uptrend. I would call anything above 1776 as a daily high or low. Bulls have plenty of space, and we're not even close to the daily 12-period exponential support yet, which has held the last couple of tests. And we look at gold, and it's on top of its exponential support, which also has held a couple tests. So it'll be more notable if that level is lost. Miners today, tightening up. So high, low, and potentially setting a lower high. We did double bottom. And I said during the live stream yesterday with the chart guys that I see the miners top and bottom at the highs and lows of the previous day more than stocks do. And that's just an observation that's becoming a bit more notable to me. And if you look at yesterday's action, we had a rejection from the high of the previous day, first thing, by, let's see, we had that high 38.60, and then we had the first candle of the day heading into the open, 38.58 top out, and then a bounce to 38.61. So my point is there were multiple plays off of that resistance, and then look at the low of today compared to yesterday. We held the low of yesterday by 1 penny, and we ended up with a decent little bounce. So it's something that I am paying more attention to now these days, because again, I'm just seeing it more often. So as far as the daily chart is concerned, for the bulls to lose their momentum, we would have to break 36.87, which would be a little daily lower high and lower low, similar to gold. Oil. So oil broke 41.08 resistance, but we did not break 41.63. And if the bears want to prove something, you know the story. We have to lose the daily high or low. 39.07 is that level. As long as that holds, the daily uptrend is intact, and the bulls can take their sweet time because the burden of proof is on the bears, and they must break that level. Nat gas USD. So we did not set much follow through on that bounce on the daily chart. And we're heading right back down to the low consolidation, 1654. It's looking like we might need to see weekly consolidation to set a higher low. And again, aggressive natural gas bulls, if looking for a long-term entry, and I say aggressive because it's definitely a bit premature, but it would be entering on a weekly higher low, putting a stop below 141, and then hoping for the longer-term weekly trend change for this bounce follow-through. Monthly chart to see if we are due for a bounce. Bear break without much follow-through. Monthly chart's not really giving me much info. But we will be looking for a weekly higher low due to the size of this bounce. Top watch Tesla tomorrow. Multiple daily inside bars getting very tight, which is just the way I like it in terms of looking for breaks in volatility and volume. I would love to see Tesla open within today's range. And I don't care which direction it breaks. Break it bullish, break it bearish, whatever. Just give me a clear break to trade. And if it's a bear break, I'd be more comfortable with a bear break. If there's market weakness as well due to the Netflix initial bearish reaction. And I'd be more comfortable with a bear break just because weekly consolidation certainly makes sense at this point after the size of the run that we had seen. So if we see a bear break of 1466, we've got 1457 and then 1431. And then a lack of nearby support. If we get a bull break of 1532, we're looking at 1550 and 1590 is the next two levels behind it. Overall, we talked about the laggard sectors, and we had some bad news for the airliners and cruise liners after hours yesterday, and we had that one last squeeze right into the close. Bulls got everything they could out of it, and then they pulled back all extended hours. A lot of profit taking. We had 3.3% down day on jets, and the cruise liners were really hit hard. Pretty much saying, hey, we're not going to have any revenue. Looking for a 4-hour higher low, but obviously giving back a ton of that move. We topped out at $17.90, and here we are $2 lower, which is over 10%. So I'd be watching for a 4-hour high or low, but just be aware that these names are extremely high risk and high reward, and overnight certainly prone to headline risk. Financial sector held on just fine, but these laggard names did not. MJ held on fine. Cruises and airliners did not. So hope you're well. We will see you next week, and that will be heading into the main event for the tech sector earnings. Just more and more major names are going to be reporting, and the question will be, can the S&P 500 maintain its daily uptrend from here? And as far as tomorrow is concerned, Tesla and gold. Is gold going to keep that daily support level, or are the bears going to indicate weekly consolidation is likely coming? Have a good rest of your day. Hope today went well, and we'll see you soon. Just had a baby turkey get stuck in the greenhouse. And it's important to get to understand the animals' calls around you, because I could walk out on my porch and hear the turkeys were in distress. Something was going on. So mom was huddled over here with 3 other babies, and I couldn't really figure out what was wrong. So she started to walk away, and then I could keep hearing a baby crying out in distress. So made my way in there and just got on the other side of it, so it flew out the door, flew into the trees, and then they called to each other for a while and finally reunited. Speaking of the greenhouse, I'm thinking that we're gonna put some cardboard down on either side to stamp out all this grass, and then cover it with some soil and start my fall and winter greens growing in here, and they'll do just fine with the amount of warmth that this greenhouse will trap, because I don't need it until next spring. Got some sweet peppers ready to go. I believe these are purple jalapenos that are just starting to come on. Squash are growing real fast down the hill. Let that guy get a little too big.